Hello guys, you're welcome back once again on my channel. So today we'll learn how to sew this baby flock dress. So as you can see, these are the materials I'll be working on. So first of all, you go ahead and cut out the material. Here I use the paradise fabric. You can use satin. So you go ahead and cut out the flare. So you can see me doing in the video. I'm cutting out the flare. This is a 180-degree flare or A-line flare. You fold it in 180-degree flare. You measure out your waist. So the child waist measurement divided by 3.14. After that, then you minus your shoulder to waist measurement. Then you mark the dress length. So after which you go ahead and cut. I have a video on how to cut this 180 circular flare in case if you don't know how to cut it. So this is what I'm doing. So remember, this gel will be using the hardness, the softness, then this paradise material, the lining, okay, and the hardness, okay. So after that, I will set this aside and I'll go ahead and cut. Remember, it's a two-step. There is a shorter flare on top, as you can see in the star. So here I'll go ahead and cut the shorter version of it, the 180-degree flare. This is the short one, but this one, because you can see that the waist is too wide because we're going to gather it at the end of the day. It's going to be gathered, so that's why the waist is far bigger than the previous waist we'll cut out. So we're going to determine the length, after we should go ahead and cut it out. So now you can see I'm cutting out the soft net I'll be using. So it's going to be in layers. It's going to be in 3 layers. So I've done cutting it out. So you are going to decide the layers you want. So now I'm cutting out the hard net. So all these things are going to gather them and then set it under. So now I'm trying to cut the lining, okay, the lining piece. You can use the same material for the lining, but because my fabric wasn't enough, so I'm using the normal fabric lining to line the under. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. So after cutting it out, the next thing is so these are the hard neck, the soft one, 3 layers of it. So this is the smaller version. Sorry guys, I didn't show you guys how to cut this one, but it's just a normal simple basic bodice for case. I use the width of the neck, I use the wideness is 2.5, then the depth I use 3 inches, or you can use 2.5 as well. So I cut my paradise fabric. I using it for the both the main fabric and for the lining. So I use the same paradise fabric. So you can see the way I'm pinning it. You pin the lining together and pin the main fabric together. So one will serve as the lining, while the other one is going to serve as the main fabric. So you are going to join the shoulder to shoulder. You do the same thing both the lining piece and on the main fabric. So this is it. After, we should go ahead and sew the neckline round. So let's go straight to our sewing machine. So this is for the gathers. Like I said, it's in 3 layers. So I have about 3 layers here. And this is the hardness. Everything will be gathered. Okay. So now on my sewing machine, you can see I'm trying to join the shoulder to shoulder. I will do the same thing both on the fabric, the main fabric, and on the lining. So after we should go ahead and turn the neckline with the lining. So it's very simple to make, but you need a lot of patience for the gathering. You have to gather So go ahead and gather all your pieces together. So you can see I'm trying to sew on the lining as well. I'm joining the lining piece as well. What I did on the main fabric is what I'm doing on the lining. So after that, we're going to put them together. You can see we are going to put the right side facing right side, both the main fabric and the lining. So we're going to match the shoulder to shoulder measurement. You can see me doing in the video. I'm trying to match it together. So go ahead and pin it all around to enable you to sew it for a neater work. Okay, so you can see I'm trying to pin it. So I'll go ahead and pin it all around. So now we're going to sew all around, but I'll be using this fabric and stay. So you go ahead and use it to turn. You are going to be placing it on the lining piece. You are going to place it on the lining piece. So you turn it all around. You can see I'm done turning sewing it. So the next thing is to give it a notch so that it will be able to relax properly. We're going to give it a notch. So after that, I'll go ahead and top stitch on the lining piece. You can see me top stitching on the lining piece so that it will stay firm. Okay, it's going to make it to relax very well. You can see me top stitching the lining piece. Okay, so you are the one that will determine your lining piece. Remember, I use the same fabric both for the lining and the main fabric, the main bodies of this dress. So now I'm done turning it. You can see. So we are going to, the next thing is to go ahead. You can see I'm sewing the zipper side. After sewing the zip line, you go ahead and sew the side. After, you should go ahead and sew the armhole because this is a sleeveless dress. It's a sleeveless, so I'm going to sew the armhole. So as you can see me doing in the video, I'm now stitching the armhole. Then I'll go ahead and stitch the other side. So all you need to do is just sew round, after which you go ahead and turn it inside out. So you can see I'm sewing the shoulder, the armhole area, because that place, so I will be able to get a neat finishing because it's a sleeveless. We are not going to attach any sleeve on this part. So after sewing everything, you pick one side. First of all, you're going to give it a notch, the armhole area. After notching it, so after notching the armhole area, you're going to pick one part. You can see me doing, just pick one, try to turn it inside out. So you're going to pull. Okay, you're turning it inside out. So after pulling it out, you can see I'm trying to make sure the edges are well pulled out. So you're going to pull the other part. So after that, you make sure the edges, you pull it out very well. So now you can see I've turned both sides, trying to make sure the edges are out. So this is the look. You can see the armhole has a very neat finishing, so as well as the neck line. So this is it. So the zipper, this is the zipper. I'll go ahead and top stitch the zipper part. So this is for the zipper line. I'm top stitching it. Then I'll go ahead and close the down part so that it will be firm. They will stay together. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Stop stitching the zipper area, then sew down the down parts. Okay, so now this is for the front. We're going to close down the front, the down part of the front. Make sure your edges are well pulled out. So this is it, guys. It's very easy, very simple. So now I'm going to pin it right side facing right side. You can see the neat finishing. So we'll set that one aside and do our gathering. I'm trying to gather the hard net for the under. Okay, So you go ahead and gather it. So I'm not using a gathering foot. So you can see the way I'm using my hands to gather it. So you pull, use your hand and pull. The more you pull, then you sew. Okay, I think it's faster than the sewing net I'm gathering with. Maybe after using the gathering um stitch, then you start pulling. That one takes a lot of time and waste of thread. So I think this is the easiest and fastest method. You use your hand and pull. The more you pull, then you sew. Okay, so that is what you see me doing. I'm gathering it. So I'm going to gather all the steps. So after that, now this is for the second flare, the shorter version, the shorter flare. I'm using the hair stay to sew the down part. This part you can use crinoline to make it firm, or if you want it to stand, so you can use your crinoline. So I used the hardest stay or stiff. So that's what I use for the down, because I could not lay my hands on the crinoline. So that's what I use, the available one, but you can use crinoline for that down part. After which you go ahead and top stitch. So you can see me doing after the top stitching. So this is it. This is for the hard net. So then I have the lining. So this is for the main, the flare. So this is the flare. So after cutting, I had excess. So that's what I pleated it a little bit. So you go ahead and align or arrange your layers. You can see me arranging. So I've put the first one. You're going to put your hard net, followed by the fabric, then your steps, the net steps. So and then the second flare, which is the shorter one. You can see I've already pleated it or gathered it. So after which you go ahead and shape the upper bodies, because after shaping you are going to attach everything on the upper bodies. Okay, so at this point you really need patience because of the bulkiness. You can see you have a lot of gathering, which has made the down part of this dress to be very bulky. So attaching it on the upper part going to determine, you're going to have a lot of patience. So I'm trying to get the midpoint. See, so after arranging it, you can see, so you get the midpoint, then you get the midpoint of the upper bodies, you pin it together. So after that, then you add your lining. You can see the way I'm trying to use my lining to cover it. So the lining is going to be on the main body side. So after sewing it, then it will be able to cover everything so that there will be no, you won't be able to see the stitches. Okay, don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So now I'm trying to hold everything in place. You can see me doing, trying to hold the down part, the hard net, the paradise material or your satin doll face, whichever one you are using, then the net, 2 layers of net. Then I have so guys, so after that you can see me doing, I'm done. I even joined the upper parts. You can see I've joined the upper bodies to the down. So this is the look, this is the final look. This is how it's, can you see, you can see the lining covered it. By the time you turn the inside, it's very neat. You won't be able to see all where the join, all the rough edges of the joining. So guys, so this is the final look. I hope this video you find it helpful. It's very simple. can see this is the final look of our baby flock dress. Thank you so much guys for watching. Bye.